Once upon a time, in a busy town near the river, there lived a young man named Ethan. Ethan was 20 years old, and he was well known in his neighborhood, not because he was hard-working, but because he was the laziest person around. Every morning, while other young men worked in shops, farms, or studied in schools, Ethan preferred to lie in bed. He always said the same words. "Why hurry? There's still time." Ethan's parents were farmers. They worked hard from sunrise to sunset, but Ethan only helped when they forced him. Even then, he worked slowly, sighed loudly, and tried to escape his duties. At night, he often dreamed about a better life, wearing nice clothes, having money, and being respected. But when he woke up, he always postponed his plans. He told himself, "I'll start tomorrow, not today." Days turned into weeks into months, and Ethan's life remained the same. His parents were growing older and weaker, yet Ethan showed no responsibility. One day, his father said to him with disappointment, "Son, you are young and smart, but laziness is eating your future. If you don't change now, you will regret it one day." But Ethan laughed it off and replied, "Don't worry, Father, I have plenty of time." But deep inside, Ethan sometimes felt guilty. He wondered why he could not fight his laziness. He wanted success, but his comfort and habits kept pulling him back. One summer morning, a loud announcement spread across the town square. A royal messenger shouted, "Hear me, people! Our king has declared a great challenge. Anyone who wins will be rewarded with a chest full of gold and the title of Royal Problem Solver. And the challenge begins in 3 days at the palace courtyard." The townspeople whispered with excitement. A chest of gold was enough to change someone's life forever. When Ethan heard the news, he became curious. "A chest of gold? That's exactly what I need. If I get that, I'll never have to work again." He didn't think about the challenge or hard work. He only thought about the reward. For the first time, Ethan felt motivated to leave his house. His parents were surprised when he said he wanted to join. His mother shook her head. "Ethan, this is not for lazy people. Many strong men will join. You will waste your time." But Ethan replied, "Maybe luck will help me. I'll try." On the day of the challenge, the palace courtyard was full of people. The king himself appeared and explained the rules. "There will be 3 rounds," the king announced. "Only those who show strength, wisdom, and perseverance will succeed." The first task was announced. All participants must carry heavy stones from the bottom of the hill to the top. Whoever finishes in time will move to the next round. The strong men rushed forward, lifting stones on their backs. Sweat poured down their faces, but they climbed. Ethan, however, stood frozen. His arms were weak and his body was not used to hard labor. At first he thought about giving up, but then he remembered the chest of gold. He whispered to himself, "I can't carry many stones, but maybe I can be clever." Instead of lifting 1 stone at a time like the others, Ethan looked around and found a broken wooden cart lying near the road. Quickly, he repaired it with ropes and small sticks. Then he loaded many stones onto the cart and pulled it slowly uphill. It was still heavy, but easier than carrying by hand. Step by step, Ethan reached the top just in time. The king watched and smiled. Interesting. This young man used his brain, not just his muscles. Ethan was shocked. For the first time, he realized laziness could not win. But clever thinking combined with effort could change everything. The next day, the second challenge was announced. This time, they had to cross a thick forest filled with obstacles and reach the palace gate before sunset. Many participants ran quickly, trying to cover as much distance as possible. Ethan, however, became tired after only a short while. His lazy body was not used to walking long distances. He sat under a tree, breathing heavily. "I can't compete with these strong men. I'll lose." But as he looked at a group of villagers cutting bamboo, they used bamboo to make simple carts and ladders. Ethan's mind sparked again. He asked for some bamboo poles and tied them together with rope he carried. Soon, he built a simple walking stick and a sled-like board to drag himself across smooth parts of the path. This saved his energy. While others became exhausted, Ethan managed to keep moving. He walked slower than them, but he did not stop. By the time the sun began to set, Ethan was among the last few people to reach the palace gates. But he made it. The king laughed and said, "This boy surprises me again. He may be lazy, but he finds ways to keep moving." On the last day, only 3 participants remained: 2 strong warriors and Ethan. The final task was revealed. Each person was given a huge block of wood. The task was simple. Move the block from the courtyard to the palace tower 1 kilometer away. Whoever finishes first wins the gold chest. The 2 warriors immediately began pushing their blocks with all their strength. Muscles bulged, sweat rolled down, and the crowd cheered for them. Ethan stared at his block. How can I compete with them? They are stronger and faster. But then he remembered the lessons from the first 2 rounds. It's not about being the strongest. It's about using your mind. He sat down, took out a small knife he carried, and started carving. Slowly, he shaped the block into a round cylinder. People laughed at him, thinking he had gone crazy. But after some time, Ethan rolled the round block forward. Instead of pushing a heavy square, he rolled a wheel. It moved faster and easier. Step by step, he caught up with the warriors, who were now exhausted. Finally, Ethan reached the palace tower first. The crowd was shocked. The lazy boy had defeated the strongest men. The king clapped his hands and said loudly, "Ethan, you are not lazy. You are simply unmotivated. Today, you proved that with purpose and creativity, even the weakest person can achieve greatness." Ethan bowed and replied, "Your Majesty, I thought laziness was part of me, but I realize now I just needed a strong reason to fight it. My reason was to help my parents and save our future." The king smiled and handed him the chest of gold. "Remember, laziness is only defeated when your goal is bigger than your comfort." Ethan returned home with pride. He didn't waste the gold on comfort or luxury. Instead, he bought farming tools, repaired his parents' house, and even started a small business to help villagers. Slowly, his reputation changed. People no longer called him the lazy boy. Instead, they respected him as a clever and hard-working man. Ethan learned that laziness is not permanent. It is only a habit. Once you have a reason to fight it. Once you start moving step by step, laziness loses its power. From that day, Ethan lived with this motto: don't wait for tomorrow. Start today. Because a lazy today will never create a bright tomorrow. Moral of the story: the secret to win laziness is not strength. It is finding a strong reason, using your creativity, and taking action today instead of tomorrow.